So you all know what this is, a QR code, okay? Now, I've always thought it was just a gimmick, yeah? I used to work in website testing. I asked one of the high-up guys, I said, what do you think of QR codes? He says, no one uses them. But now, as you're about to find out, the situation has changed. So this article is from 10 years ago, believe it or not. And it says, could the QR code be some government conspiracy to track your every move? 10 years ago, here's the proof. September 30th, 2010, yeah? So they were just sort of joking about saying, yeah, could they use it to track your every move? Well, let's have a look and see how, in 10 years, what's happened. And now we have an article from very recently. In the wake of COVID-19, QR codes are taking over the world. Will Visa and MasterCard survive? So that's a massive title, yeah? So something I thought was a gimmick, 10 years later, they're now saying it can take over the world. And will Visa and MasterCard survive? Now, these two companies are massive. They have so much money, so this must be something big if it could put them out of business. So let's read on. With QR codes, you can also create a cashless payment infrastructure. Okay? This is now being actively used by countries with developing economies such as China, India and Brazil, and it also appears the coronavirus pandemic could well spread this practice around the world. Okay? So we were saying that they want to get rid of cash. They've already told you a long time ago that they suspect that COVID-19 is supposedly can be spread through cash money. So they're trying to work out ways of getting rid of cash, yeah? So here's one that you have on your phone. Also, the stores that have opened up recently, they're saying that they're going to discourage it. So there's a big movement now to get rid of cash, and this is part of it, okay? Right, now let's read on. Remember what I said about that article 10 years ago, joking about can they track you? Now, COVID-19 has forced authorities in China, France, Qatar and other countries to implement QR codes actively used to track the health status of citizens and their movements. Yes, their movements. Okay, so what we thought was a conspiracy is actual fact now, okay? They are using this to track citizens' movements, okay? Right, now let's look at how it's being used in China. Right, so here we have a picture of a QR code in green. So basically in China, they are using this as basically a sort of passport to allow you to go to places. Now, if your code is red, it means you ain't going anywhere, mate. It means that you're going to have to go into government quarantine or self-quarantine for 14 days. If your code is amber, you will be quarantined for 7 days. With green, you can move around freely, okay? Now some of you are going to say, oh, what's wrong with this? It's good technology, they're using it to keep people safe. Right? Well, let's read what problems there might be, yeah? Or problems that do actually exist. What are the problems? As with all products of technology, the health apps are not perfect. It can make mistakes and assign users a wrong color code and force the wrong people into quarantine. Brilliant. Yeah? So you can basically be told that you ain't going anywhere and you've got to be put into quarantine, and it's wrong. It's wrong. There's been a mistake. When it comes to stuff like this, I don't think that we should be using technology that can make mistakes like that. Yeah. Some residents have complained on social media they were given the red code for the wrong reason. Yeah. A few days after its launch, they say in a statement the mayor had received so many calls from people who have questions over their codes, and then they had to set up an online application for people who demand a review of their assigned codes. Yeah, so many people are having so many problems that they've had to actually go out of their way to review these problems. Okay, so when it comes to restricting people's movements based on technology that can make mistakes, I think you're heading down a dark path. Okay, so basically, to summarize, 10 years ago, when the QR code was out and about, they were saying, oh, people that say there's a conspiracy that the government can track you. Well, I've just proved to you that they can track you, and they are physically doing it right now through that QR code which is on your phone, and you'll think it's some good piece of technology, and then we've proved that they make mistakes. So you could be told to go to quarantine and it's wrong, yeah? Because you're perfectly healthy, but the app will say that you need to go into quarantine for 14 days. No thanks. And also we've proved that it's a payment method now that's going to be used, and like we said, they're trying to get rid of cash. They're trying to say that the virus is spread through cash. If there's no cash, if your card doesn't work or the computer systems don't work, you can't pay by cash because they got rid of it. Just remember that. Yeah, because a lot of you will say, well, I don't use cash anyway. Well, cash is good, yeah, in case you need it in emergencies. Also, a lot of people in this world get paid cash in hand. Agree with that or not, they do. Now, this won't be, I won't be able to do that anymore, and the tax people will love that, yeah? So the richest people will love that because people won't get paid cash in hand, okay? So these QR codes, everyone thought they were just some gimmick that was, you know, no worth to them. Now they're taking over the world, like that article showed you, and they're thinking of replacing Visa and MasterCard. So that's how big these codes are, okay? And this is a way of the government tracking your every move, like some Blade Runner shit, yeah? Or some futuristic mass surveillance system imposed upon everyone. And I'd like you to look at some videos of Peru where they're all doing social distancing in the streets, and it looks like ants, yeah, all ants. You see it from the top down, and they're just ants, worker ants, doing their jobs with no emotions, nothing. And this is a sign of the future. And if this is what you want, then by all means, that's fine. But I don't want it for my children, your children, or anyone's children. They didn't ask to be born into this crazy, dark, cold, dystopian world, all right? So please wake up, see things for what they are, and let's do something about them. Take care, everyone. Peace.